Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a market analysis for Algorand and going over some very key levels of support and resistance to watch out for, as well as potentially a trend that we really want to see break. So if you're new to the channel and you want to show some support, please leave a like and subscribe. So I'm on the Algorand USD pair. I'm going to be talking about in just a few moments here the Algorand Bitcoin pair as well as the Algorand Ethereum pair, because I think there's some pretty good insight with respect to those ratios. So first, I do want to talk about this intermediate term support and resistance level that I really would like to see reclaimed. So we can see on May 27th, we had this bottom around 35.5 cents. And if we just extend this out, we can see it was support in May, and then we came back below it and then flipped it into resistance in June. So what we want to see going forward is a reclaim of this level. It's starting to look like maybe some sort of double bottoming pattern, but we do need to see this level reclaimed and held as support. So to illustrate what that would look like, it would be something like this, where we get, a few green candles coming back up above this level and then consolidating, holding it as support, and then eventually starting to trend back up to some of these lower highs. And actually, if I just draw some sort of general best fit line here along these lower highs, you can see that we've been rejecting off this trend line pretty consistently every few weeks, right? We had this first lower high at around 51 cents in May, and then we had another one at around 42 cents. And then just a few days ago, we had this one at 36 cents. So we are once again retesting this trend line. If we can start to break this downward sloping resistance and maybe trend back up to this horizontal level at 35.5 cents, that would be a great sign. We do want to see those levels flipped. Now, if we're starting to come back down and press on these lows, then my expectation is that it's just a continuation of this longer term downtrend. And if I zoom out here, there's some pretty key levels to watch out for. Most specifically, this November low is really calling out to me, because if we just take a general line here representing this level, we can see how this was the macro area in which we pivoted from this longer term downtrend here over to this new all-time high being formed. We can also see consolidation on this level in 2019 and earlier on in 2020. So it's going to be a very key level if we are starting to break down, lose these lows, and continue this downtrend. Ultimately, again, this is at 22 cents. I do believe this would be a pretty substantial level of support in the event we are continuing this downtrend. So now I want to switch over to the Algorand Bitcoin chart, because I think it has a lot of good insight onto the market. And most specifically, I just want to talk about the general trend on Algorand and just show you guys how it's pretty strongly in a dominant downtrend, right? We have these lower highs being formed every few months or so, just kind of coming up to lower valuations for the peak, and the lows are getting lower as well. We have basically this declining structure with the lows kind of retesting and coming back down lower. And ultimately, we just need to see this downtrend break, because if this continues on, we're just going to expect a continuation, and the momentum is just going to carry this lower. Now, this is not as similar to the USD pair. This is comparing Algorand with respect to Bitcoin. So if this is moving down, that means Bitcoin is outperforming Algorand. And typically, altcoins such as Algorand have higher risk than Bitcoin. So you really want to see your altcoins outperform Bitcoin, because you're taking on that excessive risk. So this isn't specific to Algorand, but altcoins in general, try to find ones that have uptrends on their Bitcoin and Ethereum pairs, which I'll talk about in a moment here, where you're going to be seeing your altcoin outperform Bitcoin, because if not, you're taking on excessive risk, and it's really going to be difficult to increase your Bitcoin stack if that is one of your goals. I know it's one of my primary focuses, but going forward in the crypto cycle, it's very difficult to kind of rationalize holding altcoins, which are riskier than Bitcoin, but giving you less returns. So I'm going to switch over to Algo ETH. This is the ratio with respect to Ethereum. If this is moving down, Ethereum is outperforming Algorand. And Ethereum is most likely going to be riskier than Bitcoin, but altcoins are riskier than Ethereum. And you can see this macro downtrend, right? It's just consistently putting in these lower highs and lower lows. So if you are in this project because you believe in the fundamentals, that's great. I do think that has some merits, but overall, if you're looking at trends and you're investing, it's kind of difficult to rationalize holding Algorand with respect to Ethereum, because Ethereum has just been outperforming Algorand really since inception, and it's just difficult for me to see a reversal at this stage. Obviously, that could change. We could have a pretty significant macro double bottom, or maybe just a trend shift and reverse into some lower highs, some higher lows. And maybe we see something like this, right? Again, it's really hard to see that, but currently the dominant downtrend is down. The momentum is carrying this down, and in general, Algorand has lost its valuation against Ethereum ever since as far back as this chart goes. So it's a pretty strong trend, and we do need to see a reversal on this before I'm personally getting excited. Again, we could see some short-term price action kind of leading us higher, like this spike here in September, but over the long term, it's a pretty dominant downtrend. So that's the end of my Algorand analysis. I hope you guys did enjoy, and as always, I hope you do. Leave a like and subscribe, but I also hope to see you in the next one.